And I'm live. That is cool. Today is 29th of August 2025, Friday, Saturday. Shit. Yes, today is Saturday. And I started this stream late because I was waiting for something to be delivered to my house, which is this God Emperor Dune, the fourth volume in the Dune series. And this is amazing. Now I will get to read this. And that is it. I was waiting for it to be delivered. Now it is, and we can begin our stream. So that is cool. And maybe today's stream might not be as long as it usually is, but let's see what we can get done. Yesterday, I just did two questions, or yes, I did fortune telling. I did complete fortune telling. I just have to refresh. Yep, fortune telling also done. And yep, we can begin with the next question, which says arranging the sheaves. So something combinatorics, just from the name of the question. And in here, we can go to, and yep, here I was solving this question. Wine's profit, which is something Ericto was teaching in his third video on dynamic programming. So, yep, there is that. CP 1400. Start new Vim. There are updates. And here also go to 1400. That is cool. And we can simply begin the thing. Start the stopwatch. Drink a bit of water. And before beginning, I would like to say again that this book is cool. This book is really cool. Dune Part 3, Dune Volume 4. God Emperor of Dune. Dune the planet. Okay, cool. And this here says no data. What does that mean? My OBS is saying there is no problem. Excellent collection. That is cool. Excellent connection. Cool. Arranging the sheep. You are playing a game arranging the sheep. The goal of this game is to make the sheep line up. The level in the game is described. The level in the game is described by a string of length n consisting of characters dot empty space and a sheep. Okay, dot represents empty space and star a sheep. In one move you can move one sheep on one square to the left or to the right if the corresponding squares exists and is empty. The game ends as soon as the sheeps are lined up. That is, there should be no empty cells between any sheep. Okay. For example, if n equals to this, the level, okay, then the following scenario is possible. If n is like this, right, they moved this sheep to the right and then this sheep also to the right. Yes. Okay, for a given level, determine the minimum number of moves you need to make to complete the level. Okay. Okay, I will know the location. I can note the location of each of them, take their average. That would be my center point. And from my center point, I will have to see how much distance I can iterate to the left and see how many sheeps I have seen. Okay, I will know how many there are on the left and how many there are on the right. Average, even and odd. Okay, if it is even, their average, their average, or their median is much better than the average. Yes, median would be much better. Here, the best possible answer 9 in this. The answer is 9. I have 5 sheeps. So where would be their median? This would be their median. This would be their median. I can, so one move for this, and then one move for this, two, and then three moves for this, five, and then one, two, three, four moves for this, nine. Okay, so just take their median. Here also everything is connected. Here just one move. This is the median. Bring everything to the median, because from the median there are half on the left and half on the right. Median, median. For median, I need to sort. Yes, okay. Boilerplate. And and vi I a I equal 0 I then I plus plus. And now if si equals a star, then a dot pushback I. It is already sorted. And if the length is even, or if the length is odd, if s dot, not s, if a dot size and 1, it is odd in this case. And when it is even, I will have two choices. Two choices. What if this was not here? Skill draw. Cannot spell. Yes. Number line. I have a number line, and there are a bunch of things on the number line scattered. And let's say, well, not just let's say, this is their median. I need to find a line that might be on a point or that might not be. If I move this, okay, distance, answer would be this. On average, answer would be this plus this and this plus this. If I were to move this line to the right, then the average, then the answer for this and this would not change, but this thing would be moving extra. So that is something I would not want. So when there are odd sheeps, I will take the median and bring everyone there. When there are even number of sheeps, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say. And now I have this option and this, or maybe I don't know, something in the middle. Let's go with all. Here the around approximate answer would be something like this, this value and this value, right? And for this thing, answer would be this and this and this and this. And then for the middle value, answer would be this. I think when there are even, I can take any value in the middle. Let's check it. And then this. and on the left this and this, and this is also not a very good representation of the thing. Let's convert the length. Let's compare green and the pink one, red one. So in here, this is this much, and this is this much, and this bit is covered twice, or actually thrice, by the pink bits, and it is also covered thrice by the green bit, and then the green bits have this and this on this side, and this on this side. So I can just take them on any of these points and it will not matter. It will not matter. Yep, it should not matter. Yes, yes, it should not matter. So I can just do that. Hello, good morning. Hi bro, I am currently a newbie and want to wait a minute. Maybe I can stop the timer. Yes. Hi bro, I'm currently a newbie and want to reach people, but I have solved 175 problems. Shit, but I still cannot get a queue of new problem, new guidance, please, bro. How to think? Hi bro, I am okay. Practice more. Yes. Shit. You will reach people after solving 200. How have you solved 175 problems? Maybe you have solved easy problem. I'm just supposing. I don't know. And good morning, Rock, Mr. John. Good morning. You have solved 174 questions and you are unable to reach newbie. Don't know, maybe just the way that you are solving. That is cool, Code Chef. That is cool. You are getting into competitive programming. Visit? What do you mean visit? Oh shit, that is your name. Okay. Ah, okay, maybe I misspelled. No student. Okay, yes, you are online. And okay, and you have been doing competitive programming since 2021? Okay, 4 years. Wait, okay, I'm not getting the ratings of these questions. I should be getting ratings on the right, but beam of mentees rating is 900. That is fine. I don't know. 900. C 1000. Okay, maybe you should start solving since pupil comes after you have reached 1200. I would say start solving problems that are more difficult. Yo, that is cool. You are getting into competitive programming. That is really cool. Yes, same. WTF. Uh, yep. That is a problem. If you still haven't reached pupil, you have to revise how you are getting to problems, how you are solving them, how you are thinking about them, how you are approaching problems, and maybe you could watch streams of people who are much better. Not me, not me. You can watch streams by Ericto. You can watch tourist streams. Those would be cool. And get to know how good people solve problems. Yes, yes, you should solve DSA. What do you mean? Why would you need a best sheet? Can you solve any sheet? If you are starting or wherever you are, if you can, if you are getting difficulty in solving anything, then it is good enough. And now I would like to get back to the question. And the thing for you is just revise what you have been doing, revise your methods. Yes, yes, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. It would be amazing. And yep, even or odd, it wouldn't matter. And t equals, I need index. Yep. If there are odd, I would get 5, 5 by 2, 3. I need 2. 5 minus 1, 4, 2. Okay. Right odd. Size minus 1. And T means the target. Or shit, we are a bit fancy, so we would do this. Left shift this by 1. And now this is the target. And end. Or maybe long. A dot size. And yep, for int a, if 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 I lower than target. For target, it is 0. If I is lower than target, then there is some distance that I would have to move. Okay, and the answer would be something like, if there is a target is here and I have 2 sheeps, then I would have to move this much minus these 2. So that would be res plus equals t minus, and with some concrete example, target minus my current position I, right? And from this subtract, if target is at 2 and I am at 0, no, shit, okay, that is 80 AI, and if the target is here, this is the target, and index is 6 minus 0, 5. Yep, 5, and minus the numbers that are in the middle. Yes, minus, so this is correct, and minus t minus I minus 1. Let's see. That is cool. 2. Why do I say 2 here? Okay, if everything is like that, okay. That is a nice point. If a dot size lower than, yeah, if it is lower than n, only then do all of this. Okay, I think this should be correct. And recently I have come across a way, or you could say I have invented a way in which to see if my implementation is correct, just delete everything and write the whole code from scratch. Since I need to become really good at this, I should be able to do this. I just wrote something. I should be able to recreate it from scratch. And yep, vi a int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and ai equals a sheep, then a dot push back I and int res or long ll resolution result response equals 0, and if a dot size lower than n, then do something, and at the end output result. And what is the thing? And t equals a dot size divided by 2, and not divided by 2 but right shift by 1. And now for int I equals 0, I less than a dot size I plus plus. If I shit, I messed up at one point. Shit, in the last implementation I messed up. If I is lower than t, then this plus equals at minus ai, and from this subtract the things that are going to be in the middle, which is a minus I minus 1. I think I forgot to write the else part, and still I was getting the correct answer, which is messed up. And otherwise add a I minus at, and from this subtract I minus t minus 1. Segmentation fault. Shit, okay. A dot size less than, okay, yes, makes sense. Wrong answer. Hmm. Hmm. Makes so much sense. Okay. Let's do this. Or this. Cout I, cout I, and wait a minute. I will be right back. Just a minute. And yeah, I am back. Totally. Yep. So I am getting the wrong answer somehow. Let's output 80 minus this whole thing. And yeah, a new line at the end. Uh, yes. Save Clang, and the name of the question is A arrangements dot slash out. Let's do this for this one. Only one test case which has this. Okay, so yes, okay, so for this thing, the distance that we got is 5, which is not correct, which is not correct. 5 is not correct. It should have been 1, 2, 3, 4. It should have been 4. And for this one, I got 4. Okay, I do not need to get up to that thing. I need to just get there. Yes, this thing minus 1. The things that are in the middle, and then the things that are in the middle. One test case which has this, and the answer is now correct. That is the thing about rewriting. And now it should be correct. And I think it is correct. Even though it took 20 minutes, it should now not have taken 20 minutes. This was a simple enough question. Hmm. Yep, cool. I can see here 20 minutes. Arranging your sleeps, 20 minutes. Yep. Refresh. And also let me predict what the things are going to be in the tags section. And I think in the tags section, I would see data structure, and I would see data structure if I open the tags section, which is right now closed. I would see data structure, and I would see maths, geometry, something related things. Maths. Okay, I didn't see data structure, but greedy is okay. Okay. We didn't use anything greedy related, but okay. E and authors for some of these questions was Mr. Mike. And who is Mr. Mike? Mr. Mike is a very famous guy. This guy. And he is from Code Forces itself. That is crazy. And he is very social. Look at how many users are friends of him. And he has been here for 16 years. And in 16 years, he hasn't given a single contest, but he has authored contests. So that is cool. Mr. Mike. He was online 35 minutes ago. And question was this, arranging the sheeps. I guess this is okay. This is div 3. That is cool. Let's denote by k the number of sheeps in the string this. Okay, their positions in the string. Note that in the optimal solution, the sheeps with the number m equals n by 2 will not make moves. Okay, they are taking the upper limit. We were taking the lower limit, and it is fine in case of odd. Okay, it begins with index 1. That is why they are taking the upper limit. Makes sense. This can be proved by considering the optimal solution in which the sheep with the number m makes at least one move and comes to the conclusion that this solution is not optimal. Consider sheep with numbers 1 to n, then the optimal position for the ith sheep will be closest to that, and the answer would be the summation of this thing. Okay, I am checking here a condition. Can I remove this? Okay, they are taking the mod. This is the best place. No, this is the best position. This is the current position. So from the current, subtract the best, and what is xi? Xi is the position of the current sheep, and I is the location of that sheep. That sort of makes sense. Yeah, cool, cool. Wait, no, I do not want to just move forward. XM is the index of the current sheep in the sheep's right, and M is the best position for a sheep. Right, their positions in the string. Okay, then why do I have I? I is the position xi. Okay, okay, I guess this makes sense. Yeah, cool. And this is updated. Yep, arranging the sheets, and now we can move on to the next question. That's cool. Bro, when I read problem, I cannot solve it. Have to see tutorial and solution. But that is fine to look at the tutorial and solution if you have, if you know for a fact that you have exhausted yourself and you are unable to come up with any ideas, but you are, if you are looking at the solution because you are not trying hard enough, then that is bad, and you just have to grow or become in a way mature so that you can recognize if you are just not doing hard work, you, or you are just unable to get any ideas. So you have to become a bit mature, and I think you should have, like, you have been doing this for 4 years. 4 years is a very long time. It's a very long time. 4 years ago, I was retard, literally retard. I didn't know anything, and 4 years is a very long time to be doing anything. Yeah, you just have to ramp up and change your method and talk to yourself. And we can move on to the next question. Berland Regional. Polycarp is an organizer of a Berland ICBC. Okay. Regional event. There are n universities in Berlin, numbered from 1 to n. Polycarp knows all competitive programmers in the region. There are n students. Ninth student is enrolled in the UI university and n universities and UI universities. Okay, and has a programming skill SI. Polycarp has decided on the rules now. In particular, the number of members in the team. On the rules now. Polycarp knows that if he chooses the size of a team to be some integer k, each university will send their k strongest students with the highest programming skills as students in the first team, the next k strongest student in the second team, and so on. If there were fewer than k students left, then the team cannot be formed. Note that there might be universities that send zero student teams, zero teams. The strength of the region is the total skills of the members of all present teams. Total skills of the members of the all present teams. If there are no teams present, then the strength is zero. Help Polycarp to find the strength of the region for each choice of k from 1 to n. Okay, I do not fully understand the question. The first line is n, the number of universities, and the number of students. Okay, n 7. Okay, And then the second line of each test case, the university the ith student is enrolled at. The third line contains NSI, the skill of the ith student. Okay, and some universities might not have any students. Like here, all of these students go to university 1 and 2, and these are their skills. Okay, okay. Polycarp knows that if he chooses the size of the team to be some integer k, each university will send their best students in the first team and the next k strongest students in the second team, and so on. If they are okay, for k equals 1, there will be a bunch of teams. If there are fewer than k students left, then the teams cannot be formed. Okay, note that there might be universities that send 0 teams. The strength of the region is the total skill of members of all present teams. Okay, wait, is this a reference to something? 3083. Maybe someone, a single guy had a rating of 3083. That would be cool. Educational round. Okay, yeah, this is cool. I will use a matrix to store this data. Adjacency matrix or adjacency list to store all this data, and then for each value of k, I need to find a way with which I can quickly find the number of teams that will be formed. Maybe in logarithmic time, because k goes from 1 till n and n is at max 10 power 5. So the process of finding the strength for a given value n should be logarithmic. But okay, maybe I can do some pre-processing. All of them are in a single team. Go to the single university. For n equals 1, 43. For n equals 2, this team, and this team. For n equals 3, the same thing. For n equals 4, only one team. 4 into 3, 12 should have been here, but we have 32. Okay, yeah, yes, because of this. 9 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7, that is 32. Yep. And then for 5, the top 5, 32 plus 6, 38, and then for all 43. Just a way. I will also have to sort all of this to find the strongest players in a given thing, which suggests maybe I should use a set, a priority queue. But then accessing the elements is not very efficient in that. Number of universities n, and k also goes from 1 to n. Time, it is taking a lot of time, and there are at max 1000 test cases. Can I do some pre-processing? given something like this, given something like this in university 1 and 2. Let's say I have, after taking this, sorted the whole thing in university 1, this, and this guy 6, 5, 5, 3, and in university 2 we have 8, 1, 1, and my n and my k will go from 1 till, and the whole thing 7. What I need to do efficiently, given universities, I will only go through the universities that have teams. Given, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I have a sequence like this and I'm taking sum of at every one index, then wait, shit. For one, I will add. Okay, let's say I have the total sum. I have the total sum, which is 6, total sum 321. I think 21. 1, 2, 3, 6, 10. Yeah, 21. And when k equals 1, I will add the whole thing. I will take the remainder of this thing, the size of this thing, with k. Take the remainder of the size of this thing with k, and let's say I also have a prefix. Prefix. I also have a prefix. So 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, and 21. And here the remainder is 0, so that is cool. And when k equals 2, remainder is still 0, so answer would still be 21. K equals 3, remainder is still 0, so answer is still the total sum 21. Now 4, remainder is 2, so I will take the sum of the smallest two elements, which is going to be at index 2 if we are one indexed, and subtract this number from our total, which is 21, so answer would be 18, and here remainder was 2. And for 5, remainder is 1, so I just subtract 1 and get 20. And then for 6, remainder is 0 again, and we are back at the top. So that gives me a way with which I can, in constant time, find the sum of these things. Yep. And what is the other thing that I would like to have? Maybe when, let's say, I represents the number of students that go to the ith university, and if at any point k becomes greater than ui, I can just remove this. I do not have to go to this university again. Okay. Yes, and the order of the universities doesn't matter. And what do I need? I need a prefix, and I need this. So universities 3, 4, 5. and a matrix which has the skills of the students which go to these universities, and this is sorted. So this size is n, and the sum of this whole thing is n, the sum of these sizes is n, and yes, so therefore I have n things, and I would also have to sort this, and sorting one thing will take some time. Let's say n dash log n time to sort one of these, and what I do know is n dash summation for all of these is going to be n, this thing, because I only have n number of students. So if I take the summation of this whole thing for this whole thing, I cannot take this common n1 log n1 plus n2 log n2 plus dot dot dot. I know that n1 plus n2 plus till nn equals n. Yeah, this should not be very time consuming. Yeah, this should be, I think this should be lower. Will this be lower than log n? Log n1, this is g, n2 log n2. What I do have is n1 plus n2 plus n3 dot 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 equals n. If I take log, we can take a test case in which every value is equal to 1, in which case it would take just constant time, and yeah, constant. And so time complexity for sorting this whole thing would be n in that case. Yeah, this should be cool. This should be cool. Sorting this whole thing would be cool. And then where do I store this thing? Because there will be some uh, things, some universities which do not have any students, and some universities whose students I would like to remove. A set, maybe just a vector, but then I can reorder the whole thing using move, but move is not good. And also I will not need a prefix. I can sort this and just store the prefix itself. I do not care about the individual values. So yes, I can just store the prefix. That is cool. I can just store the prefix. I do not need the actual values. I only care about the prefix. And then maybe I can sort this matrix, but I think, and by sort, I mean take take the universities which have smaller number of students to the top, and the universities which have larger number of students at the bottom, so that whenever I start my search with a certain K, I start it from the place wherever K is larger than or equal to the number of students in this current university, where I start my search with K to save time. Let's implement. Let's implement. Yup. Yo. And let's implement. Volatile. And then I will get skills in the next part. Okay. VI U represents university. I less than N I plus plus. And CN UI. Actually, I would like to make UI minus minus. That is much better. And now run the loop again to get the skills. I can store the skills at some other place. Say VSN. I have the skills, I have the I have the students, universities, and the students who go to the university. Wait, that is stupid. What is this? This is very stupid. This is very stupid. Shit. Yes, shit. This is stupid. Okay. Uh, Vector of vector u size n and vi empty. Hence, integer c and c and c. Now that I have c u c u c Berkeley, uh, u c dot pushback I. The student goes to this Cth university and pre-increment because students are zero indexed, because universities are zero indexed. Height, I have the skills of these students. Maybe vi ii size n iota ii dot begin ii dot n, starting from 0, fill the whole thing. And I am doing this so that I do not have to sort this thing itself, and I can just sort the indexes. I dot end and a lambda function int I int j return u dot size u I dot size lower than uj dot size. I have the universities sorted out. That is cool. And now I need to find their prefix. So for every university that has some value, how do I find a university that has upper bound? Custom function. Maybe just find, plain find. Yeah. And I and B as in beginning. Find I dot end. Can I pass? Yes, I did. I think I can. I and J. Look for this value using this function. Okay. Look for no, find is not the thing. Find is not the thing. I am looking for something like upper bound. A custom loop would be fine. And B equals 0. And yeah, while u bracket I b dot size equals 0 b plus plus. Now B is pointing to the first university that has some students in it. And now I have to iterate through B till the end and find that prefix which is going to help me. And to find that prefix, I would have to sort everything that I have, all the skills, all the students. For int I equals b, I less than n I plus plus. Okay, I am at the ith university. For int s as in student equals 0, s less than u I, yes, and s plus plus. Okay, something is dot size. Yes, makes sense for all the students. And here I, maybe I can change this auto reference uni equals u bracket I. And here I can use uni. That is much cleaner. And for the current university that I am at, uni bracket s, maybe I can create a heap and then go through this again and change all of this to a prefix, a priority, a set, set dot insert, set dot insert. Should I have a set s here? Okay, std as in student and s bracket std. Add the skills for this current student into our set, and now we can iterate through the set and c equals 0, c is the counter, and for auto reference x in s, which in ss, which is a set. Prefix, I need a prefix, not this. Prefix would need more length, so dot pushback 0. And uni bracket 0 equals 0. And here we would have uni bracket c plus 1 equals uni bracket c plus x plus x. Yep, and then c plus plus. I have the prefix. Yes, I have the prefix. I have the prefix. I have the prefix. Yes. Yes, I have the prefix. Now I just have to iterate through values of k. Yeah. And k equals 0, k less than n, and k plus plus. For a given value of k, I will have to iterate through a bunch of universities. That is still feels like very close to n square time. But let's see. Time limit is 2 seconds. Okay, let's see. Beginning, I know the beginning, which is b. I will always start, iterating through universities from b, and u equals b, and u less than n, and u plus plus, and b is, yeah, auto reference uni, the current university, equals u ii u. S equals 0 for this value of k, and for this value of k, result is 0. And now when I am at a university, I need to find the answer for this, which is going to be res plus equal uni bracket uni dot size, which is uni dot back, and res minus equals the number of students in this uni size remainder with k. How many this is, let's say it is whatever it is, that is the index, yes, since it is a prefix. And here space, space, new line, bracket, k equals n minus 1. And now I also have to update b to make this thing more efficient. Okay, whenever I am at a university, if uni dot size equals k, then b plus plus. Yes, do not not plus plus, but I will not go to this university. So B equals U plus 1 because I will not go to this university the next time. And I hope this thing works, or maybe not. Negative answers. Hmm. 29, 35. 35 not quite correct. 34 and somehow negative answers. Yes, I'm iterating from the smallest till the largest. That is cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. 0, 0, minus 5. Okay. Auto reference X and U. C out X. No, that is not the right thing. Blank plus plus C and Berlin. Berlin. One test case which has all of these things. Okay. Empty, empty, and yes, that is very cool. No, no, that is not very cool. That is not very cool. That is not very cool. I'm doing this printing at this point after I did the sorting and the prefixing. If I do this here, then what do I see? One test case and one test case, and in there I have 6 and then 3, 3. Those are, yep, and then 5, 9, 6, 7, 9, 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is correct. The index of the students. Okay. Okay. And then how am I getting their skills? STD. STD is correct. Shit. Yes. Okay. Mm, mm. I expected it to work this time, but it didn't. One test case, 6 and 5, 9, 6, 7, 9, 7. Okay, it is even worse than before. Line dot slash out 1, 6. Cool. And 6, 9, 6, 7, 9, 7. Hmm. So the prefix is wrong. Prefix is wrong and everything else is correct. Mistake is in this part. Let's see. Where does B start? 1, 6, 6, 9, 6, 7, 9, 7. B starts at 5. Huh? Huh? B starts at 5. That is not very cool. B should not start at 5. B should be 2. Makes sense, makes sense, makes sense, makes sense, makes a lot of sense. Yes. B starts at 5 because that is in the ascending order. That is the university with the most amount of students. Okay. And SS, Secret Service, auto reference uni references to the ith sorted university for int std equals 0, std less than university dot size ss dot insert skill of this bright student, yes, and then override the university. Yep. So the first thing is 0, and yes, this should be working. Yes, this is correct. This is absolutely correct. Cannot be wrong. Mhm. Let's see the skills of this student. 16333 and 69679 7, and those are the skills. 696797, 696797, and the prefix should have, shit, I expected this to work this time, like genuinely. 16333, right, and then 696797. That is correct. That is an amazing thing to say. Why is it 44? 44? Is it? It should be 44, right? Why is it 43 here then? 7 plus 9, and 7 plus 9 is 16, 32, 32 plus 6, 38, 38 plus 5. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, I gave the wrong input. 16333, and then 333, and then 5967797. Very close, very close, very close. 4343, 43 should have been 43. The summation is correct. The mistake is here. Yep, the mistake is here. Goes till in. Okay, wait, I should probably not do this and this. Okay, wrong answer. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, why do I say 38 in the last here? Oh, what is this 38 doing here? Oh, shit. 38, 43, 38, 25, 32, 43, 43. 43. Yes. Add the take the remainder of the size of the universities with k. K is 2 and uni dot size. What would be uni dot size? Here uni dot size would be 3. It is yeah. Yes. Because it is a prefix now. Yep. Got to subtract 1. Mm-hmm. Okay. And here the first one itself is correct, is wrong. That is something we have to get right. These, let's now do our experiments with this one. For or to reference x and u, see out x. One test case which has this much stuff and correct. See out b. And yep. See out b, and here what do we have? 1 7 1 2 1 2 1 2 1, correct. And 6 8 3 1 5 1 5. Yep, b5 is correct. 5 6, yes, b5 is correct. So why am I messing up in this part? For k equals 1, everything should be, yeah, everything should be there for k equals 1, but everything is not there somehow. 35. It should be this plus this, which is 35. Why is it 29? University 1 sends all of their students, and prefix is wrong somehow. This should have been 10 and the other one should have been 19. So 19 is correct, but I do not have a prefix of 19. 1 1. Okay, prefix is wrong. 10, I do get 10 because of 6. Skills are messing up this part, which is creating the prefix. This is wrong somehow. Multiset ss dot insert for all the universities. Do this. Yep. See out uni. Yeah, see out uni. Clang dot slash out 17121221 and 683155. Cool. That is absolutely wrong. 17 and 121221 and 683155. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. Somehow this thing is STD, student. This should be correct. This should be correct. Let's do STD. 17121221 and 683155. Hmm. 0 2 and 0 2 3. Of course it is wrong. It has to be. Hmm. Okay, 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 okay. Now 17121212 and 1 and then 6831531515 and 29 is correct at least. Prefix is also correct, but the whole thing is also correct. Shit. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. And now I would like to do some crazy thing. I think this is probably correct. We're solid for it now. Very small man. Yo, thank you. I am studying hard. And Ericly, how are you? Tame Impala is not releasing his album. I guess he's only releasing a single song. Yeah, Mr. Kevin. And you see, this thing I have come up with that when I get my solution correct in the test cases, I just delete the whole code and I have to write the whole code again from scratch. So this tells me if I know the thing or not. If I am a good programmer, I should be able to write it again, right? If I do understand the thing that I just did, I should be able to write it. Let's see. I had a vector u which will store the index of all the students which go to a particular university. Let's and its size is n for int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and int c to take in the current student, c in c, and not a vector. A vector is a stupid thing. We do not use that. So size n and vi, let's mp initialize this thing, and then here u bracket minus minus c dot pushback I, so that I know the I student goes to this Cth university, and C is one indexed. That is why I have to pre-decrement it to match the thing. And very nice, thank you. My template is the exact same as, except I have added all. Okay, yeah. I didn't you add all because sometimes I was looking at a code and in which I had to just sort the first half and then sort the second half in the opposite way. And also sometimes we have to sort in decrementing order using R begin and R end. So yeah, I thought this would be pretty cool. And I don't even use LL that much. I just write long sometimes. So yeah, too much boilerplate seems like too much thing for me to need to write code seems like a lot of weight. And we can begin with this. I will vi s size n for int I 0 I less than n I plus plus cn as I, and I have the skills. Cool. I would like to now sort the universities. Vi ii iota, and yes, here your template would be really helpful because I have to write the same thing a bunch of times, and start from 0 and then the same thing again, except here we have a lambda function int I int j, and return ui dot size lower than uj dot, and I think there must be a better method than this in the tutorial, and it is going to be cool to see that how it works. And yes, I took your advice and I do not look at the things at the problem statement on which I got an error. I try to look at my code and see where I have a bug, or maybe write the whole thing from scratch again. And that is cool. That is cool. Sort, and now B. And B as in beginning. B will point to the first place, to the first university which has any students, so that I can skip the universities which do not have any students. So while u bracket ii b dot size equal 0 b plus plus. So now b is pointing to the right thing. And now for this I can make a prefix array for all of these universities starting at b I less than n I plus plus. Now I am at a university, uni equals u I, and why do I have to use this translation of II? Because I want the universities to be in the sorted order, increasing order of the number of students that go there. And now for every student in the university, a multiset int, let's call it SS, and for all the students which we are representing by STD, students start from STD and STD while lower than uni dot size and std plus plus, and we will have ss dot insert what, insert the skill of this std student, and the skills of this std, yes I did took the skills, is this, nope, std, std, yep, std student, and the skills are s food. And now prefix uni dot push back 0 so that I have extra space, and uni bracket 0 equals 0, and for int I equals set for int x in ss int, let's say c starts at 0 for int x in ss. I will have uni c plus 1 equals uni c plus 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 x. I should have my prefix by this, and now I can start iterating for the final thing for k. For int k starts at 1 and k goes lower than equal to n, k goes lower than equal to n and k plus plus k. Now for this given k, I have to iterate through all the universities. For int I equals b, I less than n and I plus plus, the current university is auto reference uni equals u bracket I. If for every value of k, I will have ll, not long, this equals 0. And for this university, I have to find the answer, which is going to be res plus equals uni dot back, add the whole thing, and res minus equals uni dot size minus 1, uni dot size minus 1, remainder k, that is going to be the index which I want from the prefix, and the prefix is in the university itself. See out res yeah, that should work, hopefully, or maybe not. Okay, that is horrible. The C++ is working. Let's see. Maybe if that was the mistake, even though it wasn't. Shit. Why was that the mistake? I was doing C++. Okay. Before that, let's try to submit and see if it works. It took 1 hour, but let's see. This is cool. Very nice. I'm preparing for ICPC prelims in 2 weeks for South Pacific region, Australia and New Zealand. That is amazing. That is amazing. ICPC prelims. Shit. That is pretty cool. And I think you also need a team and not get wrong answers. Integer overflow. That is probably a integer overflow, and it is, which we can fix. Okay, I will do it the right way, which is and everything is correct. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. Okay, and when am I adding some stuff? Here I am adding some stuff to university, and university is a long. So we should be cool, and I should have known. I should have known this in advance. I should have known this in advance. Since I'm taking a prefix, it could have overflown, and it did overflow. I should have known that. Okay, time limit exceeded. Time limit exceeded. Okay, okay. What is the time complexity of this whole thing? Okay, maybe yes. I'm not doing that thing. If uni dot size equals k, then b equals I plus 1. Why don't you have? Yes, of course you do. That is when you start this loop again for the next k, do not come to this university. Okay, do not come here. And I believe if I do instead of b equals I plus 1, b plus plus would also be correct. I think, yep, b plus plus would also work. But let's go with this for now. And I think this, this maybe, this might help me. Okay, wrong answer on test 1 would be crazy. On test 5, okay, it did help, it did help, it did help. Maybe not here. Ah, shit, okay, it is working. Mm-hmm. Shit, it is taking a long time. And there are a lot of test cases. Cool, cool, shit, okay, 1 hour, but we got this. 1 hour, 5 minutes, but we got this. That is cool. 1 hour, 5 minutes. Okay, cool. And looking at the editorial for this thing would be fun. But before going to the editorial, this one was data structure heavy. We had to use a lot of data structure stuff, you know, using a multi-set here and then using a reference to this thing. Yeah, I had to know about a reference and I had to know about this thing. And yeah, a vector of long long, a vector of long long, a matrix of long long. And what else about this fact? This thing did the last thing, last push, and then prefix. This question was good. This question was actually good. It's let me predict what the tags for this are going to be. I think I'll see data structure, sorting, and data structure, sorting. Yeah, greedy prefix, or maybe 2 pointers. Data structures, sorting, greedy, brute force, number theory. That is number theory. Prefix, number theory. Yeah, that is cool. We can go to the next question. I just used sorting plus prefix sum. Reverse the order of I and K or break when K exceeds the student for each university. I just used sorting plus prefix sum. Is sorting plus here I do not I want to sort the universities based on the number of students that go to the universities. And I used a different array to store the indexes and then I sorted those indexes. And I'm doing this because I think when I sort the vectors, this matrix based on the length, I think that might take a lot of time, maybe. And it will take time if, but I think it will not take time because the mental model is like this. This is my outer vector and this has a bunch of things: university 0, university 1, university 2, university 3, university 4, and the actual thing that is being stored here, I think that is a handler to some vector, and this vector as the indices of students, student 1, student 2, student 3. So sorting this would also be fine. So let's do that instead of this thing. Sort u dot begin and u dot end, and my sorting function is going to be auto A, auto B, return A dot size lower than B dot size. Yep. And then I can just B. Yep. And here I don't need anything like this. And I don't, okay, maybe uni, this does not harm me. So that is fine. Yes, that is the code with that. It is correct. Maybe my concern was that it might take longer. It might take a lot of time. And yes, I also did sorting and then prefixing. Okay, shit, you didn't use multiset, you used sorting and prefix. So, okay, and I'm doing the prefix in the same vector. I just create another space by adding 0 and I'm prefixing in the same place. Okay, so that tells me I'm doing like something along the lines which you can call correct. There are two sortings. One, you have to sort the universities like this, and then this. And then you said the second part about reverse the order of I and K. So I do not have to go to, okay, then I can break, and then I can break. That makes sense. Greater than equal to 0 and I minus minus. Shit, yes, that should make sense. That should make sense. Shit, yes, yes. And then in the low loop, I can just continue. Yep, I can just continue. Makes sense. And I will check for a break at the top. Yep. If ui dot size greater than 0, lower than equals 0, then do not create a prefix. Do not do that. Here is start with n, the last one, and I can actually copy this from the top. As good programmers, do not repeat thyself. Right, and right, if uni dot size is lower than k, then break. Yep, then break. Okay, and I think this is the thing that you were referring to. I just use this. I just use associative array to map universities. Associative array to map universities and then loop from university 1 to n. So like vector ll nums and nums I is the So like vector LL, a matrix of long called nums, and nums I is the ith university, and nums II is the jth, IJ is the jth student in the ith university. Okay. Okay. I just used associative array. By associative array, you mean uh, a map ordered or unordered to map universities. Uh, I think I got your reverse loop idea correct here, right? When university dot size, the number of students. It is a prefix. It is a prefix. It is a prefix. Shit. University dot size is a prefix here, so here I have to do size -1, but here size is correct because at this point it is not a prefix. Break minus auto unique multiset, everything here should be correct, and then k equals 1 till n. Then for every k, do that. Associative array is where the key can be used as the index, so you can just use vector instead of map. Wait, associative array. I think you are just referring to map. Yes, map and unordered map. You can just use vector. How can I use a vector associatively? If I have a map, this would only happen if I have a map with some value of key, right? T, and that is storing a vector, right? But to store the data in the format of key value, I would have to use a map. And I'm not even getting this right. Okay, I messed up some place at, yeah, this is correct. This is correct. See how to wait. Why? Okay, I don't have that. Clang this and 171212121683155. I got the first thing, but then I should have broken. Yes, yes, I should have broken here at this point when university dot size was equal to 0. And if my intuition is correct, I will see high 3 times and then the error, even though I shouldn't. 6831515. Okay, I did only saw it 2 times, so that is good. Shit, is this saying university dot size does not exist? Bruh. Okay. Your key for maps are integers between 1 and n, so you might as well use a vector of length n instead. Your index is your key in the vector. Yes. Okay, but I'm not using any map, so that is cool. That is cool. I'm only using a associative thing here, which is stored under the hood using some uh, red black tree things, and I'm using this to sort the thing. And then I'm storing the prefix in the thing itself, which I sorted. So that is cool. I think that is fine. I think this is fine. But somehow I am getting an error. See out UI. 171212. Yes, actually you can call, yeah, it is just an optimization thing. Yeah, I mean that is pretty good optimization. When my keys are just integers in a range, I can just use a vector, right? So that is pretty good optimization. That is actually pretty good optimization because fetching from vector is constant time and fetching from associative thing like a map is log n time. That is good. And you are going to ICPC, that is crazy cool. Hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, it was empty, so that size should have been 0, and it was, and did break, I did break, and if you see the bug, please do not point it out. I will find it. Okay, this thing was not getting printed, so yeah, I think I am getting out of this loop. And I think I will get to see hi 6831515. Hi, yes, I do see hi. I'm not breaking here at the correct moment. Uni.back, uni. I'm indexing here segmentation fault. Take its remainder with k. Yes, and if k is greater than this thing, uni.size minus 1, uni.size minus 1. Take the remainder with k and shit. Don't tell me this was the thing. Okay, that was not the thing. U naught size minus 1, if that is lower than k, yes, then just, yep, break ui, and ith university does exist. I starts at the end and goes up till 0 and minus 1, and uni dot size minus 1. Yes, that is also correct. If it is less than k, then break. Then break. Uni dot back. My phone is somehow running out of battery even though it is plugged in from the start. Shit. Uh, that is pretty bad. It is not charging, and my phone acts as my camera, so it has to be charged. Hey, there is something wrong, maybe with the charger or maybe with the phone. Yeah. Okay, there is electricity in the wire at least. Okay, how long has it been? Similar concept, it is used in count sort. Count sort. Okay, wait a minute, just this is fine. My if my camera dies out in a while, that is fine. No problem. Distance optimization, you don't need to do hashing, so you don't need to worry about collisions, but oh, wait, you don't need to do hashing. Yes, yeah, in reference of unordered map or unordered set, but this only works if your values are bounded by input like 1 to n or 0 to 1 to n minus 1. Yep, and n is not very large, so that's cool. It's used in count sort. Shit, I forgot count sort. I did read about count sort. Mm, but there is radix sort. Yeah, shit. When you already know what the range of your values are, then put them into a bucket or some equivalent thing. Or instead of putting them into a bucket, you can initialize a vector which corresponds, whose index correspond to the values, to the range of the values that are to be sorted. And then whenever you see a number like that, then increment that the value at that index, right? And then you can start iterating through the lowest index to the top, and whenever you see the value is non-zero, if it is greater than 0, then push it into your sorted array and decrement the value, and do this again till all the values in that vector are 0. I think that makes sense. And yep, there is some mistake here, and my camera will die in a while. That is fine. See out. Let's say you need. Let's see. At which university do I get up? 161212122 and 6831515. Okay, I do get out at a empty university. 171212121 and 6831515. I messed up. Messed up the last value. Shit. 6831515. Okay, I do not break at this point. Unidot size would have been 0, and 0 minus 1 is minus 1, which is smaller than k. I should have broken, but I do not break. Why is that? If unidot size, uni would be 0, unidot size would be 0 minus 1. That is lower than k, and at the top, I'm seeing if the size is 0, and here size minus 1 lower than k. 17121212 and 6831515. 0. I should have gotten out at 0. Size minus 1 lower than k. What is the value of k? 17121212 and 6831515. K is 1 in all of these cases, and university minus 1 should be 0, should be minus 1. 7 1 2 1 2. Makes sense because size, shit, okay, because size, this thing does not return an integer, it returns an unsigned long or something like that. Shit. Now we are cool. Now we are absolutely cool. Correct answer. Yep. And what was the optimization that I made? Yep, that you suggested. Thank you for that. You suggested that I should run the loop in the opposite way, which is actually cool. And that I can sort this thing, the vector itself. So that is cool. And here I can remove this. Let's see, submit. word land, and it has been more than 2 hours. Today I started late, but it is actually pretty late, and this might actually be the last question that I do for the day. Okay, that was shit. That was very fast. That was actually very fast compared to the last code. Let's see. Oh, oh, maybe not, but yeah, fine. And the tutorial name now, Birdland Regional. Blood Test is a nice guy. And before reading the tutorial, I would like to go to the washroom. Like, I really have to go washroom. I'll be right back. Yo, I'm back. That is cool. Really cool. Yep. And now we can read the editorial for this thing. There are two important observations to make. Before reading what they are, let's try to see what they are and refresh. In this question, what were the two important observations? I haven't read the rest of the thing. There are two important observations. So let me see what they could be. Let's skip the whole context in the mathematical terms. Two important observations. One is that the sum of all the students who go to universities, by sum I mean the total number of students who go to universities is n. So if I were to go to every university which has a student and then sort that thing, and let's say that university has a students, then it is going to take a log a time. And if I do this for every university that has a student, the time complexity should not exceed, should be around n log n. Therefore, I am allowed to do this sorting of students based on their skill. So that is, I think, one observation that I can sort the students internally. And the second observation is for some value of k, there are only some certain universities. Okay, I think, okay, I would like to say there are more than two observations. Maybe because I'm just learning, I do not know, and some things might be pretty obvious, but according to me, first observation was this, that I can perform this sorting based on the level of skills inside each university based on a student, based on the skill of the students. And then the second observation is that for some values of k, for every value of k, there would be some universities in which I would have to find the sum, and some universities in which I won't have to find the total skill level. So that is also cool because I can skip a lot of universities and improve my time. And the third thing, which I think might be very obvious to people who have been at this for a long time, is the part where you take the prefix. Yep, the prefix part. That was that was cool. That was cool. Figuring out that I could take the prefix, that was cool. So according to me, these three are the observations. The prefix, the thing that I can sort the students based on their skills, and that for certain case there are some universities that I do not have to find the total skill for. And I think in the article this prefix part would not be as an observation. So let's see. The first one is that you can calculate the answer for each university independently of each other and sum them up to obtain the true answer. Okay, yes. Yes, okay, okay, okay. That was one of not one of the observations I said, but okay. The second one is that if there are X students in a university, then university can only contribute to answer for K from 1 to X. That university can only contribute to answer for K from 1 to X. It can also send multiple teams, and it maybe the language is not clear in this part. I think this is referring to the fact key. Second one is that if there are X students in a university, then the university can only contribute to answers for K from 1 to X. Yes, 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 yes. That is this point. Yep. That is one of the points that I said. So that is cool. At least I got one right. That is cool. So if we learn to calculate the contribution of ith university for some fixed A in constant time, then we will be able to iterate over all the possible key for each university and get the solution like this. Yep, key for all the universities. Yep, where xi is the number of students in the ith university. Yep, yep. To achieve it, you have to gather the sum of maximum number of students that can form full size K teams that must be the highest number less than or equal to xi, that is divisible by K into K. Sort the students of each university, pre-calculate the partial sums, pre-calculate the partial sum prefix sums, and now you are free to add the prefix sums of that number of students to the answer for K. That is cool. Shit, this is much smaller than what I wrote. I had multiple loops, and for I do not like this. Like, what is the need for this small thing? You can just write the loop. What is the need for this small thing? Why do you have to define this? You can just write this much. What are you saving? And okay, okay, it just okay. I am not even eligible to comment. This was written by Ao, who is here. Yeah, this person is much higher rated than me, so I'm not very eligible to comment. But still, I do not like this. I do not like this when people mm, do this. Why do you need this? You can write the whole thing. But anyways, maybe he did this only for this because only for this problem because there are a lot of for n loops, right? That's cool, by the way. Int n, yep, that is archaic. And using scanf and then using a definition like this for n, this thing, these two seem contradictory, because this I would expect from some cool kid, and this I would expect from some person using Arch Linux. But okay, int n, then scanf, vector int, yep, create vectors, u n s n, then taken k. I prefer to write the whole thing. Yep, writing the whole thing feels very natural, and it is like, seems very obvious. You do not have to go to the top and see what the thing is there. And yeah, some people use a lot of boilerplate, a long list of boilerplate in which they have a lot of things. They have vectors there and everything there, and then just somehow they start using those vectors here, and I have to go up and see, oh, this is what this refers to. Some people have a vector named pref, and then use it here directly, and yeah, it just does not feel natural. Anyways, okay, you just took S and U, okay, and then vector, yeah, BST, okay, best for IN SI represents the ith student, where the ith student goes to, okay, and BST, I guess, uh, the university. Okay, so BST, this university has ith skill. Okay, cool. And then sort this greater in. Oh, sort them internally. Okay. And then prefix, you are creating a new vector for the prefix. Okay. Long, just one thing with 0. And then you are doing pushback in the prefix. Okay. Okay. Doing pushback when you do already know the size of the thing does not feel very cool. But anyways, and cool. That is cool. That is cool. Okay. Yeah, practically the same thing. I was just using multiset, and you are not using multiset for sorting. So that is cool. And what do we have? Here, my phone is now charging. That is cool. And for today, I would like to end the stream here because, yes, I have a pretty good reason. The reason is this. I have this thing. This thing just came, and I was waiting to get this, and that is why I started the stream late today. So that is cool. Even though I will not be reading this, currently I am reading this thing, The Stranger by Albert Camus. And I think person is, if some person is, mm, you could say, in a way nihilistic, not exactly nihilistic, but a lot of things do not affect them as they do normal people. And I do not know what a normal people would be affected by, what a normal person would be affected by. And if there is a person like that, then I would not recommend them reading this book, The Stranger, because this will give them reason. This will give them some justification for their behavior of not caring about normal stuff and life. So do not read this if you are like that. And with that, this would be the end of today's stream. And okay, shit. Oh, I have read those two. That is cool. Dune Part 4 is pretty amazing. Dune Part 3 was pretty amazing. Dune Part 3, little. I'm Leto Atreides, son of Paul Atreides. That's cool. Ganima and everyone. And yeah, that would be the end of today's stream. And